Howdy world, this is Choicepex, coach of the Land of Magikarps, bringing you PGL Week 2 with our battle against Automatic and his, I can't pronounce it, Nuzleafs. Sorry about that. As I said in the last video, with Root, we did unfortunately have to do post-com for the first two battles. Week 3 will be live com, so you can hear all of my screw-ups live as they happen. Anyways, as you can see on the screen, I brought Melodic, Tapu Bulu, Arcanine, Dragonite, Hitmonlee, Mega Mawile. He brought Electabuzz, Mamoswine, Conkeldurr, Tornadus, Mega Aggron, and Slowking. I was actually surprised not to see the Tangela. There's a couple other things I thought he might bring. But this was a very, very fun match. I had a lot of fun. As in last week, remember I had a big issue with being on call and not being able to focus on the battle. But this battle was very fun. It's one of my favorite battles I think I've ever had, just because it was so much fun. So anyways, we'll go ahead and jump right into it. You can see what happens here. He does predict my my lead pretty well. He starts off with Electabuzz. So I was thinking everything but Electabuzz. Doesn't really take Melodic very well. And unfortunately, he brings in Electabuzz, calling my Melodic lead, so I swap out into Tapu Bulu. Get Grassy Surge up. And he unfortunately just Volt Switches, so he gets initiative. I showed right there, I think I calced that to either be just modest or potentially a spec set. I wasn't entirely sure at the time, because it did more than I thought it would be doing for an Electabuzz. I go ahead and swap out here because I don't want to take a Heat Wave or anything, so I bring in Melodic, and he goes ahead and fires off a Z Flying something? Z-Fly? Maybe? Yeah, Supersonic Sky Strike, so I'm assuming it's Z-Fly. Or, no, not Z-Fly. I don't even know what Tornadus gets, honestly. I was thinking Dragonite. Dragonite Z-Fly. But anyways, we take that pretty well, and especially for that being a Z move. We get our Marvel Scale up. I just go for Recover, predicting he's probably going to U-turn because there's not much he can really do here. Seeing as the Z move did 50%, so nothing else he has is going to do more than that. So I go ahead and recover. So he brings in Conkeldurr, which I love Conkeldurr. I've used it the past 2 leagues. It is a great mon. It is a very hard mon to handle. And it shows he's a gut set, which is not great. We're both burned. And I go ahead and stay in and see what he wants to do. And hit him with Scald. He fires a knockoff, and I'm completely, okay with that. It does hurt, but I don't need my Flame Orb anymore, so that's okay. Get some HP back. We both do Grass Terrain, and then we both take some burn damage. I go ahead and go for a Recover. I am faster. I wanted to see if he was going to try and Drain Punch now, or what his plan was here. And he does Drain Punch, so fortunately that does a good chunk as well, and he gets a fairly decent chunk healed back. Once again, both getting healed from the grassy terrain, and both taking burn damage. He can unfortunately win this stall war because of that, so I go ahead and swap out here. Grassy terrain is gone. And I go back into Tapu Bulu, because we could take a Drain Punch, okay, and we can potentially scare this thing out, but he does go ahead and swap, and he brings in Electabuzz, which I'm completely okay with, because now I'm like, something has to take a Wood Hammer to the face. It's not going to appreciate it. He does go ahead and Volt Switch out, and that's when I was like, okay, this thing is actually Scarfed. But anyways, Big Bird comes out, or at least I think it's Scarfed. I'm forgetting my notes. Big Bird comes out, but this Wood Hammer does a pretty big chunk to this thing. So I'm thinking this thing actually might go for Roost, or I don't think it was going to go for Heat Wave now because of that. And unfortunately, because he doesn't know if I'm Scarfed or not, which I'm not, but he just goes for a U-turn. I stay in. So I predicted him to either go Roost or U-turn. And he brings in Titanium, which takes a Wood Hammer right to the face. Does some massive damage. And unfortunately, Life Orb damage kills us. So Tapu Bulu goes down. And to himself. So I get to bring in Hitmonlee here, which unfortunately, first time I've ever used an Unburdened Mon, so this is not a great. I almost went for Stone Edge here because I think he was going to bring in someone, not Stone Edge. What would I knockoff here? Which I should have, would have been better. But I thought, you know, he might still try to stay in, but he didn't. And close combat does nothing to Slow King here. And unfortunately, I already got rid of my white herb, so good news for me is Unburdened now. I know Unburdened does not go off before. Actually, I don't know what Electabuzz is. I thought it was Karp because of my. You'll see. Anyways, just rambling. Anyways, that's why I don't like doing post-com, live-com. You can just simply see me rambling live. I bring in Arcanine. He does go ahead and swap out and goes into Big Bird. And I'm okay with this, as I do have that one move. God. Sorry, guys. Post-com. Not great. He brings back in Slow King. I just went for Extreme Speed, because I actually calced, depending on how he was built, I could kill. And I didn't know if he was going to go for Roost or whatnot. But anyways, he swaps out. Extreme Speed does nothing. I go for Wild Charge, and it does a good chunk. Drop me down some. He does fire off a pretty powerful Scald here. He does withdraw, and he goes into Titanium, and I figured the swap was coming, so I actually go for Flare Blitz, assuming either Tornadus or this was coming back in. And we do get the burn off of Flare Blitz, and we don't die from the recoil. So now I'm just free to go for Extreme Speed, just because I want to get some damage off. He does have to go ahead and Mega. But I was like, at this low of damage, Extreme Speed will kill. And I didn't want to kill myself with recoil damage, so I could get some more chip damage off at least. So I go for Extreme Speed. And Titanium goes down. So Conk comes in. I go for Extreme Speed to get some chip damage because I know he's going to have Mach Punch. And there's the Mach Punch. So unfortunately, Conkeldurr takes down my boy Arcanine, get some burn damage off. So I bring in Miko, my Mega Mawile, fire off the Intimidate on Conkeldurr. He's not going to want to stay in now, and we do outspeed, unless he's running some decent amount of speed, which I doubt. But he brings in Slow King, which I thought was fairly bold, just because I don't know what he's running, but I could have went for knockoff. But I just go for a Play Rough, and does a good bit there. So now I can just freely go. I go for an Iron Head, so I wasn't sure if he once again he was going to try and swap out or not. And I didn't want to go for Sucker Punch in case he was trying to go for Trick Room or something else. So I just go for Iron Head, take him out. Mega Mawile gets a kill. In comes Big Bird. I don't want to take a Heat Wave just yet, so I do swap out and go into Melodic. Because Melodic can take anything this thing wants to throw at it. Does fire off the Heat Wave. We take that just fine. He goes ahead and U-turns out, and I just fire off a Recover. Get healed back up. Back in comes Electabuzz. I get a free recover off. He fires off a Thunderbolt. I kind of wanted to see how much this would do. It did way more than I thought I was going to do. I went for recover because I wanted to see how he was running it. Because I wasn't sure if he was spexed or if he was scarfed or what at this point. And this is where I make a really bad play. I switch out. I bring in Hitmonlee, which also was, since I don't have Unburden anymore, is my most useless Pokemon. But because I'm not running any speed investment, unfortunately. And forgetting how Unburden worked, I thought this thing was scarfed for the longest time. So I bring in Dragonite, thinking this thing is scarfed. So I'm like, I can just go for a free, or not thinking, seeing that it, I actually don't know. I think it is scarfed. I have to go back and check. I'm not thinking. I'm pretty sure it's scarfed. Anyways, I go for Dragon Dance. Get my stats boosted up. And I go for another Dragon Dance. Because now at +2 I should be able to outspeed most anything left on his team. He does go for Thunderbolt, unfortunately. And we do get dropped down to where Ice Shard is just going to murder me. So unfortunately, I know we can just bring in Mamoswine next, but we do get rid of Electrified with an Earthquake. +2. So Elliot finally picks up a kill, first kill of the season. And here comes Mamoswine with that Ice Shard. So I'm just forced to hit him with some chip damage and get extreme speed, which at +2, it does a decent amount. And there's the Ice Shard. So unfortunately Dragonite goes down to Ice Shard. And Arcanine's gone. So I am able to bring in Mega Mawile though. And he goes into Big Bird. And I go for Sucker Punch, but unfortunately he swapped out. So he goes for Heat Wave. Should have gone for Swords Play the first time. I go for Swords Dance. Should have went for Swords Dance. Or Play Rough. Over Sucker Punch or Iron Head, anything would have done better. But anyway, so now I can just Sucker Punch this thing to death at +2. So Mega Mawile sitting in here. Here comes Conkeldurr, and I do just fire off a Sucker Punch because I wanted to see how much that would do. Calculated doing slightly more, but unfortunately Mach Punch takes us out. I knew he had Mach Punch, so I couldn't go for Play Rough or anything else. But this knocks this thing down low enough to where Melodic can come in here and outspeed. I should have went for Recover here. He goes for Mach Punch. He gets a crit, and unfortunately, because of that crit, we are now within range of a lot of things. I think if I would have went for Recover there, I would have been fine. If I would have went for Recover there, I would have been fine. But it wasn't the play. Just going for Scald. Because I didn't want him to Drain Punch. That was my fear, is Drain Punch. And unfortunately, we are now within range of an Earthquake. If I would have recovered, that would not have been the case, but that's the game. So we do lose again, 1-0. So we're going into week 3 with 2 losses, but I feel much better about that loss. That was a great game, 1-0 loss. If I would have played a little bit smarter with Hitmonlee, probably could have done a little bit different. And also, if I would have recovered that last turn, it would have been different. But it was still a great match. Thank you, Automatic, for the battle. Links to everything will be down in the description below, and we will see you week 3 against Silver Beanie and the, what's his team? Crystal Palisades. So, see you next time, guys. Go Karps, go!